Stop everything you're doing because one of the most shocking scandals in Love and Hip Hop Atlanta history has just exploded, and it's so wild, so unbelievable that fans are literally asking if this is a movie plot. Kirk Frost and Rasheeda, the so-called power couple of Atlanta, just had their mansion raided by the FBI in the dead of night. Sirens blaring, agents in full tactical gear, neighbors watching in horror. And when the smoke cleared, insiders claim what was found inside their home could destroy everything they've built. We're talking hidden millions. Offshore accounts, stacks of cash reportedly stuffed in safes and walls, and whispers of secret bank accounts linked to names that don't even exist. The same couple that's been preaching about family, loyalty, and building an empire is now at the center of a federal investigation that could take them from reality TV fame to prison time. But here's the craziest part. Insiders are saying this wasn't just about money. There are hints of a much darker cover-up. Something even Rasheeda herself allegedly didn't know about until the raid exposed it all. So buckle up, 'cause this isn't just drama. This is a full-blown scandal of epic proportions, and the ending, it's going to leave you speechless. When you think about Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, there are a few names that instantly come to mind, and none louder than Kirk and Rasheeda Frost. For over a decade, they've painted themselves as the complicated yet unbreakable couple, fighting through cheating scandals, secret babies, explosive fights, and betrayal after betrayal. Every season, fans swore it would be the end of them, yet somehow, someway, they'd show up to the reunion holding hands, acting like their love had conquered all. But behind the smiles and scripted storylines, whispers have always lingered. Fans questioned, how does Kirk always bounce back financially, no matter what happens on the show? Others noticed that while many of their castmates struggled with money, legal fees, and child support, Kirk and Rasheeda somehow kept stacking properties, opening businesses, and flexing designer wardrobes. And Rasheeda, she branded herself as the boss chick. Her boutiques, her makeup lines, her music, she made it clear she wasn't going to be just another reality TV star. She was going to be a mogul. But with mogul status comes scrutiny. People in Atlanta's tight-knit entertainment scene whispered that Rasheeda's empire looked a little too polished, little too perfect. Then came the rumors, late-night conversations at clubs, quiet chatter in barbershops, anonymous blogs, hinting that Kirk had more going on than just music management and Rasheeda's ventures. Words like money laundering and hidden accounts floated around, but nothing stuck. After all, they were reality TV stars. Of course there would be gossip, but what fans didn't know was that the FBI had been quietly watching. For months, maybe even years, investigators were reportedly piecing together financial trails, shell companies, and suspicious transactions that all pointed back to the Frost household, according to alleged insider leaks. The Frosts weren't just living off love and hip-hop checks. They were moving money in ways that raised serious red flags. Transfers linked to overseas accounts, businesses that existed only on paper, transactions that didn't match their public income. To the public, Kirk and Rasheeda were a love-conquers-all couple. To the feds, they were suspects. And here's where it gets even more chilling. The raid wasn't random, it was timed. Sources claim the FBI had been tipped off that large sums of money were being shifted into secret accounts just days before agents stormed the Frosts' mansion. That means someone close to them, someone inside their circle, may have been the one to turn them in. Rasheeda, the woman who fought off every allegation of cheating and every accusation of fakery on the show, suddenly found herself facing a scandal she couldn't cry or clap back her way out of. This wasn't just about Kirk cheating with Jasmine. This wasn't just about Rasheeda walking out on stage. This was federal business, the kind of thing that could put their family as name in court dockets instead of TV credits. And the most ironic part, for years, Rasheeda had bragged that she and Kirk had outlasted their haters, that their marriage and businesses were proof of resilience. But now, that very empire was under siege. Not from gossip blogs, not from castmates, but from the FBI itself. The raid itself was a spectacle. Neighbors claimed they saw black SUVs pulling up before dawn, agents fanning out across the property, doors being kicked in, safes being cracked open. Rumors spread that cash was found hidden inside walls, tucked into designer bags, and even locked away in a secret basement room that Rasheeda supposedly never entered. The whispers said investigators left with boxes of documents, electronics, and more cash than most people will see in their lifetime. And here's the kicker. The Frost kids were reportedly home when it all went down. Imagine being woken up by armed agents tearing through your mansion, dragging your parents downstairs, barking orders. That's not reality TV drama. That's trauma. So how did we get here? How did Kirk and Rasheeda go from reality TV survivors to federal raid suspects? The answer lies in years of shady whispers, unanswered questions about their finances, and the possibility that someone inside their circle finally decided enough was enough. Because in the world of reality TV, storylines may be scripted, but FBI raids, those are very, very real. And the deeper you dig into the Frost's empire, the more it starts to look like the foundation wasn't love, it was secrets. But if you think the raid itself was shocking, wait until you hear about what the feds allegedly uncovered when they dug into those accounts. Because the first twist is coming, and it's worse than anyone could have imagined. The night of the raid wasn't just a headline, it was a full-blown movie scene. Eyewitnesses claim FBI agents rolled up to Kirk and Rasheeda's massive Atlanta property at 4:37 a.m. sharp. Black SUVs lined a block, neighbors peeked through blinds, and the sound of boots echoed as federal agents marched up the driveway. According to one alleged neighbor, it started with a battering ram hitting the front door. They didn't even knock. It was like something out of a drug raid movie, the neighbor recalled. Inside, Rasheeda and Kirk were reportedly jolted awake by the commotion. The kids, terrified, huddled together as shouts of "FBI search warrant" filled the house. And here's where it gets wild. Sources say the Frost's mansion wasn't just a home. It was allegedly a treasure chest of hidden wealth, stacks of cash in designer bags. Agents reportedly uncovered duffel bags filled with cash, stashed in closets and behind clothing racks in Rasheeda's boutique showroom. But the most jaw-dropping find? Investigators claim they discovered purses from Rasheeda's own boutique line stuffed with $100 bills, as if they were doubling as secret vaults. Secret Basement Room 1 insider leaked that the Frosts had a basement room concealed behind a bookshelf, and that's where things got even darker. Inside were multiple safes, each filled with a disturbing combination of luxury watches, gold bars, and documents allegedly tied to shell corporations. According to whispers, some of these corporations were traced to overseas accounts in the Cayman Islands and Belize, names linked back to the Frosts through digital trails. Suspicious documents, but the paper trail is what made the agents' jaws drop. Allegedly, investigators found ledgers with coded entries tracking payments and deposits under names that didn't correspond to any real employees. One line reportedly read, J.W. monthly, $50,000. Fans immediately speculated, was that Jasmine Washington? The first twist, offshore accounts. This is where the first major twist hit. According to leaks from so-called federal insiders, Kirk wasn't just moving money for himself. He was allegedly running money through multiple secret accounts under different identities. But the real shock? Some of these accounts weren't just tied to Kirk. They allegedly had Rasheeda's name attached. That means Rasheeda, whether knowingly or unknowingly, was linked to suspicious financial activity that could be interpreted as money laundering. The very boss chick who spent years branding herself as independent, business savvy, and above the mess might now be legally entangled in Kirk's alleged schemes. And here's the kicker. Agents reportedly discovered a recent transfer of $4 million into an account under a shell company just 2 days before the raid. To the feds, that looked less like coincidence and more like a cover-up attempt. Social media explosion by sunrise. TMZ-style blogs already had the story. FBI raid Frost's mansion. Instagram lit up with memes, Twitter X threads exploded. And YouTube commentators went live, dissecting every rumor. Hashtags like #FrostRaid, #BossChickBust, and #KirkMillions trended by noon. Fans were divided. Some said, this is karma. Kirk, been shady since Jasmine. Rasheeda stayed and now she's caught up too. Others defended Rasheeda, she probably didn't even know. Kirk dragged her into this mess. The Jasmine angle, but then came another twist. Remember those coded ledgers? Anonymous sources claimed Jasmine Washington's name, or at least initials pointing toward her, appeared multiple times. If true, that meant Kirk may have been funneling hush money through secret accounts to keep Jasmine quiet all these years. Could it be that the infamous secret baby scandal wasn't just about infidelity, but about financial cover-ups to keep the truth buried? Rasheeda's breakdown later that day. Rasheeda allegedly went live for just 34 seconds before breaking down in tears. She whispered, "This ain't what y'all think. I ain't do nothing." Then she cut the feed. That short clip alone had over 1 million views within the hour. Fans couldn't tell if it was guilt, fear, or anger. But one thing was clear. The woman known for her calm boss demeanor was crumbling. Ballistic move by the feds, as if that wasn't enough. Rumors began swirling that Kirk's assets were being frozen pending investigation. That means the boutiques, the cars, the Frost family mansion, all of it could be seized if prosecutors decided to push forward with charges. Insiders whispered that Kirk was already reaching out to he-powered attorneys, while Rasheeda was allegedly begging producers at VH1 not to cut ties. For a couple that spent years turning their relationship into a storyline, the reality they were facing now wasn't scripted. It was deadly serious. And this was just the first twist. Because as wild as the raid was, the next layer of revelations would drag in other names, other celebrities, and expose truths so dangerous that even diehard fans weren't ready. If the raid itself was shocking, what happened after the feds dug into the Frost's finances was pure chaos. Because it wasn't just about hidden money anymore. It was about who that money was allegedly connected to. And once those names started leaking, Atlanta's entire entertainment scene shook like an earthquake. The first escalation ties to other reality stars, according to anonymous insiders. Some of the shell companies the Frosts were funneling money through were mysteriously linked to other cast members. Yes, names allegedly tied to love and hip-hop stars past and present appeared in transaction records. Fans immediately speculated. Was Kirk covering up for someone else? Or were other couples secretly part of the same scheme? One blogger leaked a supposed screenshot from seized files showing payments listed under initials like SS and YH. The internet went wild. Was that Spice? Was that Yandi Harris? Neither confirmed. But the speculation alone was enough to light up Twitter with memes and conspiracy threads. The shocking reveal: Jasmine's name pops up again. But nothing hit harder than the alleged confirmation that Jasmine Washington's name showed up multiple times in the documents. Not just as JW, but spelled out in a way no one could deny. One source claimed Jasmine received regular monthly deposits through one of Kirk's shell accounts, and the totals: over $500,000 across several years. The revelation instantly reframed the infamous secret baby scandal. Fans realized Kirk may not have been simply paying child support. He may have been running money through Jasmine as a way to hide it. Was she a pawn, or was she knowingly part of it? Nobody knew Rasheeda's rage when word got back to Rasheeda that Jasmine's name was floating through federal records. She allegedly snapped. According to insiders, Rasheeda accused Kirk of dragging her down for Jasmine all over again. She reportedly screamed at him in front of agents, shouting, "This is exactly why people said I should have left you years ago." Neighbors who claim they heard the fight say Rasheeda's voice echoed through the halls, mixed with tears and fury. For a couple that had always played their drama for ratings, this time it wasn't cameras, it was federal witnesses writing notes. The second escalation: political connections. And then came the most shocking leak of all. Allegedly, some of the Frost's hidden accounts were traced to political donors and Atlanta business moguls. That meant Kirk and Rasheeda weren't just being looked at for personal laundering, they were now tied to networks that reached far beyond reality TV. One rumor claimed an FBI document linked there. Accounts to a local politician under investigation for campaign finance violations. If true, this wasn't just a scandal, it was a bomb waiting to explode. Social media erupts as these revelations spread. Fans went nuclear online. TikTok sleuths began posting deep dives, with creators connecting dots between Kirk's mystery businesses and Atlanta nightclubs. Twitter threads labeled Kirk as Atlanta's Walter White, mocking him for living a double life, while Rasheeda branded herself Boss Chick. The hashtags shifted. Hashtag Frostgate, hashtag Boss Chick Hooks, and hashtag Jasmine Bankroll all trended within 48 hours. Jasmine speaks out finally. Jasmine herself broke her silence. In an Instagram story, she wrote, "I ain't got nothing to do with what them people talking about. Y'all won't put me in this mess," but fans weren't buying it. Comment sections flooded with, "Girl, the receipts say otherwise." Others speculated she was scared to say more, worried about federal retaliation. The ultimate twist, Rasheeda may be charged to the scariest part of all. Insiders whispered that prosecutors weren't only eyeing Kirk because her name appeared on multiple accounts. Rasheeda herself could be facing charges. One alleged insider leaked, "They're looking at whether Rasheeda signed off on anything. Even if she didn't know everything, ignorance won't save her." That meant the woman who fought to protect her. Marriage on TV might now have to fight to protect her freedom in court. Producers smell blood, and of course, the entertainment world didn't wait. Rumors swirled that VH1 producers were already rewriting upcoming storylines, considering whether to feature the FBI raid in a special episode. Some insiders claimed Rasheeda refused to sign off, saying, "This ain't for ratings. This is my life." But others whispered that producers were salivating because nothing, absolutely nothing, gets views like a real-life FBI scandal. By this point, it was no longer about the Frost's money. It was about who else might be dragged down with them. And trust me, the names being whispered in connection to those accounts were enough to make Atlanta's entire hip-hop scene panic. Because the raid wasn't just about Kirk and Rasheeda anymore. It was about an empire of secrets waiting to unravel. And the next reveal, it would be the most shocking yet. If fans thought the FBI raid and Jasmine's name popping up were the height of the scandal, they were dead wrong. Because what came next didn't just shake the Frost household, it sent shockwaves through Atlanta's hip-hop and reality TV industry. The chain reaction. Within days of the raid, court insiders whispered that the Frost's bank records revealed transaction links to multiple high-profile Atlanta artists. These weren't small amounts either. We're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars moving in and out of accounts connected to the Frosts. Some were labeled as business expenses, others as consulting fees. But investigators allegedly flagged them as suspicious immediately. Fans speculated, was Kirk secretly managing money for other celebrities? Was he acting as a middleman in an underground financial scheme? And most importantly, who else was about to get dragged? The alleged tie to Scrappy and Bambi. One leak claimed that money linked to Lil Scrappy and Bambi appeared in the records. That revelation instantly had social media buzzing, since Scrappy and Kirk's friendship had been rocky for years. Fans tweeted, "So this is why Scrappy always seemed tied to Kirk no matter what." Others speculated that Scrappy may have unknowingly been part of Kirk's shady dealings. Bambi, however, wasn't having it. She went live, visibly angry, saying, "Don't put me or my family in that mess. Y'all won't smear my name." But her denial only fueled speculation. Was she distancing herself because she knew more than she was letting on? The Spice and Ciara angle, another bombshell, alleged that deposits tied to the Frosts led back to a boutique business associated with Ciara. Gates insiders whispered that Rasheeda and Ciara's friendship wasn't Just about fashion, it was about moving money under the P's. If you're about moving money under the radar, and then came Spice. Fans noticed Spice, posting cryptic captions like, "Dirty money don't last long." Was that shade at the Frosts? Many believed yes. The LHHATL community was starting to turn on Kirk and Rasheeda, each castmate trying to make sure they didn't get caught in the fallout. The celebrity world chimes in. But the mess didn't stop with love and hip-hop. Word spread that rappers outside the show may also have connections to Kirk's financial dealings. Names like Future, 21 Savage, and even Young Thug started being tossed around in rumor blogs. Now, were those confirmed? No. But the fact that fans believed it enough to trend hashtags like #FrostFutureFunds showed how fast this wildfire was spreading. Even celebrities with no ties to Atlanta weighed in. 50 Cent reposted a meme of Kirk with the caption, "You can't even trust reality TV couples." SMH Cardi B commented on a Shade Room post, "Chile, they better lawyer up." The scandal wasn't just local anymore, it was national gossip. The shocking footage leak. Then came the footage that turned everything upside down. A leaked video began circulating online. ALLEGEDLY showing FBI agents carrying out boxes labeled "Evidence, Frost Investigation." While the video quality was grainy, the internet exploded with speculation about what was inside. Some swore they saw jewelry boxes, others thought it was hard drives, and conspiracy theorists even claimed they spotted envelopes. With other celebs' names, Rasheeda tried to do damage control, posting a picture of herself looking composed with the caption, "I'll be good regardless." Boss chick energy. But the comments dragged her girl. "Ain't no boss chick when the fed's at your door." The secret audio recording. But nothing, and I mean nothing, hit harder than the alleged leaked audio that surfaced just days later. In the clip, a voice sounding eerily like Kirk could be heard saying, "They'll never find it. It's in the accounts under her name." Fans immediately speculated that her meant Rasheeda. If true, it suggested Kirk deliberately used his wife's name to cover his tracks. That revelation turned the public narrative from Kirk got caught to Rasheeda might be complicit. The industry backlash. Meanwhile, businesses began distancing themselves. One promoter reportedly canceled a Frost family hosting gig, citing reputational risks. Rasheeda's boutiques allegedly saw a dip in sales as fans flooded her. Instagram with snake emojis. Insiders leaked that VH1 executives were in panic mode. On one hand, the scandal was ratings gold. On the other, they risked looking complicit if they aired content that now connected to an FBI case. Rumors swirled that producers were considering a special expose episode that would dive into the raid, but only if the legal situation didn't escalate further. The final escalation: could arrests be next? The most shocking whisper of all came when blogs claimed federal prosecutors were considering formal charges. While Kirk was the obvious target, Rasheeda's name being tied to accounts meant she could also be indicted. Imagine the couple that branded themselves as love and hip-hop's longest-running survivors being walked into federal court in handcuffs. One source summed it up best: "This isn't a storyline anymore. This is real life." And if they don't have receipts to clear their names, the Frosts might not just lose their mansion, they could lose their freedom. The raid wasn't the end. It was the beginning of a storm that could destroy not only Kirk and Rasheeda's empire, but drag half of Atlanta's reality TV scene down with them. And the next chapter, it holds a revelation that's even bigger because, allegedly, one of Kirk's secret accounts is tied to someone no expected by the time the dust settled from the raid. Kirk and Rasheeda weren't just trending, they were the only thing anyone was talking about. The scandal had swallowed the internet whole. And the reactions: explosive, divided, and downright brutal. Fans turn on the Frost's Instagram comment sections became battlefields. On Rasheeda's last boutique promo post, fans swarmed with snake emojis, writing "boss chick" or "bank chick." Which one is it now? Sis was running boutiques and offshore accounts at the same time. You stood by Kirk through cheating. but now you standing by him in federal court. Meanwhile, Kirk's page turned into a meme hub. One viral meme showed him holding stacks of cash with the caption, "When you say you're managing artists, but really managing shell, counts." Another had Rasheeda yelling from a Loch HATL reunion clip edited to say, "The feds, Kirk. The feds." TikTok sleuths and conspiracy theorists, TikTok creators had a field day. One video, viewed 6 million times, claimed to have decoded the FBI's evidence boxes, saying they held hard drives with secret recordings of Kirk's deals. Another TikTok stitched together old LHHATL clips of Kirk acting suspicious with captions like, "We should have known all along." Some fans even started conspiracy theories that the raid was filmed in secret for a future season, with captions like, "This drama too good to waste off camera." Love and hip-hop cast reactions, and then came the cast. Nobody in the LHHATL universe missed their chance to throw shade. Spice went live laughing hysterically, saying, "Me tell dem years ago, dirty money saya clean." Erica Mena posted a cryptic message, "Energy never lies. What's done in the dark always comes out." Carly Red reposted TMZ's article with nothing but popcorn emojis. But the most brutal came from Lil Scrappy. He tweeted, "Ain't nothing real about reality TV when the feds at YA door." Fans instantly connected this as confirmation that Scrappy might have known something for years, but stayed quiet. The industry steps back. Outside of the LHHATL bubble, industry insiders were panicking. Promoters allegedly pulled back on booking Rasheeda for boutique pop-ups. A rumored deal with a major clothing retailer was said to be on indefinite hold, and the whispers about VH1. Reportedly, executives were split. Some thought the scandal could be their biggest ratings boost in years, while others worried about legal entanglements. One leak claimed, "If indictments come, we can't air them as talent. It's too risky." It's too risky. Fans defend Rasheeda, but surprisingly, Rasheeda wasn't completely alone. A small but vocal group of fans rallied behind her. They argued she was the victim, dragged into Kirk's mess without knowing the full extent. Hashtags like #free, RASHEEDA, and #protecttheboss. Chick started trending. One fan wrote, "Stuck by him through everything. Y'all really think she'd risk her empire for Kirk's schemes?" Another said, "Boss Chick built her brand legit. Don't let Kirk ruin her name." Celebs outside the franchise weigh in. Then came the big names. Cardi B tweeted, "Man, they better have receipts, BC. The feds don't play." 50 Cent posted a troll meme of Kirk in an orange jumpsuit, saying, "This gon' be love and hip-hop, prison edition." Even Nicki Minaj liked a shady post about Rasheeda, fueling speculation about where she stood. And then the wildest reaction of all. Jasmine Washington herself dropped a shady IG story. Over a black screen, she wrote, "Y'all really surprised? LMAO." That one sentence broke the internet. Was she confirming her involvement? Or just capitalizing on the chaos? Fans debated for hours. The divide grows by week's end. It wasn't just about Kirk and Rasheeda anymore. The scandal had turned into a culture war among fans, castmates, and celebrities. Some saw it as karma finally catching up. Others swore it was a setup, that the feds wanted to make an example out of reality stars flaunting too much wealth. But one thing everyone agreed on: this wasn't ending anytime soon. If anything, the public meltdown was only fueling the investigation further, and the whispers were already building toward one final, devastating revelation. A twist that would drag another unexpected household name into the mess. Because, according to leaks, one of Kirk's secret accounts wasn't just tied to reality stars. It was tied to a figure so shocking, fans won't believe it until they see the receipts. Just when fans thought the FBI raid, Jasmine's name and all the cast shade was enough, the real bombshell dropped. And this one didn't just shake the Frost's world. It shook the entire culture. The unexpected name, according to alleged leaks. One of Kirk's secret accounts wasn't just tied to Rasheeda or Jasmine. It was allegedly connected to a major Atlanta hip-hop mogul, someone fans never expected to see dragged into this mess. Blogs went wild, claiming documents linked a hidden account to none other than T.I. himself. Yes, Clifford Harris. Mr. Rubberband Man. The very same man who, ironically, once rapped about the feds being on his trail. The whisper said payments from Kirk's shell companies were funneled into accounts with ties to a Harris LLC, raising immediate questions. T.I.'s alleged connection. The leaks claimed this wasn't pocket change. We're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars in transactions, some labeled as consulting fees, others as investment returns. If true, it suggested Kirk wasn't just hiding money, he was allegedly tied into bigger networks that reached into Atlanta's rap royalty. The internet exploded. Fans spammed T.I.'s Instagram with comments like, "Not tipping the Frostgate mess to expeditiously explain this? Please, so King Harris ain't the only one with problems." Rasheeda's panic allegedly. When Rasheeda heard about the T.I. link, she completely broke down. Insiders say she screamed at Kirk, "You got us tangled up with people we can't fight." Unlike cheating scandals or caste feuds, this was bigger. This was political, cultural, and dangerous. Ballistic silence from T.I., the most chilling part. T.I. didn't respond. No tweet, no live, no interview. Just silence. And in that silence, fans saw guilt. Was he preparing a legal defense? Or was it all fake leaks meant to stir chaos? The future of the Frosts, meanwhile, federal prosecutors reportedly began preparing indictments. Kirk allegedly faced the possibility of fraud and laundering charges, while Rasheeda's fate hung on whether she could prove ignorance. If charged, both could lose not just their money, but their freedom. And yet, even with everything collapsing, the Frosts stayed quiet. No interviews, no statements, just silence, which only fueled the mystery. What were they hiding? The cliffhanger by the end of the week. One final rumor hit the blogs that FBI agents had possession of recorded phone calls between Kirk and an unnamed Atlanta mogul. If those tapes ever go public, it wouldn't just end the Frosts' empire, it could drag down some of the city's biggest names in hip-hop and politics. Fans are left asking, is Kirk about to take everyone down with him? Will Rasheeda finally cut ties? Or will she go down as his ride or die in federal court? And if T.I. really is tied to this, what happens when a rap legend gets pulled into Frostgate? One thing's for certain, this isn't the end. This is just the beginning of the biggest scandal Atlanta has ever seen. And when the next shoe drops, trust me, it won't just break the internet. It will change hip-hop history forever. And there you have it. Family, one of the biggest, most explosive scandals to ever hit love and hip-hop, Atlanta. Kirk and Rasheeda Frost aren't just battling cheating rumors anymore. They're battling the FBI. Secret bank accounts, offshore money trails, and whispers that could drag some of the biggest names in Atlanta straight into the fire. But the question now is, what do you believe? Do you think Kirk masterminded this entire scheme behind Rasheeda's back, dragging her down with him? Or do you believe Rasheeda knew exactly what was happening? That the so-called boss chick was complicit the whole time? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now, because this debate is about to rip the fan base in two. And let's not forget the shocking twist. Those rumors tying Kirk's secret accounts to Atlanta's own T.I., if that turns out to be true, this won't just be a reality TV scandal. It'll be one of the most devastating hip-hop industry bombshells of all time. Imagine what happens if those alleged recorded phone calls actually go public. Careers finished. Reputations burned. Empires gone overnight. So don't just watch the drama unfold. Be part of it. Smash that like button if you think the feds are about to expose more names. And make sure you subscribe with notifications on, because the next update on this Frostgate mess could literally drop any day. And remember, what we've seen so far, that's just the tip of the iceberg. The next chapter could drag in even more castmates, more moguls, and maybe even topple an entire ATL dynasty. Stay tuned, because the Frost scandal is far from over. This is only the beginning. This is only the beginning.